Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your friendly neighborhood alcohol distribution expert. I do apologize for the late start on this. We've gotten to get everything perfect for this because we're doing a bit more of a serious pub chat tonight. We will be looking at Belarus, so I'm not going to waste time. I'll very quickly do the intros and we'll go to our main guest, which is Clapperjack, who's going to get it through all. So, Colon, give us your intro.
Hey, Barman. Yep, I'm here, just in the background, chilling out as usual. Got a beer. Actually, I've got coffee as well. So it's decision time. Which one do I go for?
Beer.
Doesn't really matter. The important stuff is coming up shortly.
It is. Krafty Keelah, your intro.
I don't really have an intro, but hello, people. I'm looking forward to tonight. We have, as you said, something very, very serious and very important to talk about. So I'm glad that we have this platform, and I'm glad that you guys are with us in this. So yeah, I'm just getting settled now, and more videos are on the way. And I will be bringing the Challenging Conspiracies series very, very soon to the EiE Network. So watch out for that.
Awesome. Tatty, intro.
All right, it's me as a serious, so I'm saying fuck all.
Fair enough. If anyone's got any questions as the night goes on, stick them in chat, tag the EiE, tag myself, tag Colon. We'll try and pick them up. We'll put them in a spreadsheet and we'll go through them as the night goes on. But Clapperjack, we'll go straight to you and go away, intro, everything. The night is yours, mate.
Hello, everyone. Mr. Clapperjack here. The guy that disappears into the ether and then suddenly pops out of nowhere to say something important. So today is going to be a bit of a hard night because I need to tell you something very important, and it's going to be about my country. My country right now is pretty much going through a revolution, I guess. We're experiencing something that's pretty much unprecedented. Yeah, I guess that's going to be the thing for today. I will be using a presentation that's going to be linked in the description, I guess. Yes. It's going to be an Imager album. So everybody who's watching can follow along. And Tatty will also, I guess, be showing on the screen from that same presentation, everything like videos and images and websites as we go along, and I try to build a timeline of events that led us to today. Yeah. So I guess we shouldn't really idle, and I guess we should start. I will go through the whole timeline, and then at the end, I guess we will be discussing what I try to explain. All right. I'm sorry for being a little bit iffy.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Problem, man. No problem.
Tatty, video number 1, please.
Надо сказать, что лучше умереть стоя, чем жить на коленях.
А есть что-то, что вообще вас может остановить от выхода на лед?
Меня? Ну а зачем? Можно, но зачем? Я не понимаю. Здесь нет вирусов никаких. Вот ты же не заметила, что они летают? И я тоже не вижу. Это холодильник. Это самое лучшее здоровье. Лучше, чем спорт, особенно лед, холодильник этот. Антивирусное лекарство, самое настоящее.
So this man is Alexander Grigorievich Lukashenko. He is the president of Belarus. This was the first event that started his downfall. For 26 years, he has ruled my country, starting from 1994. He took power and completely took control. Elections from that day became pretty much a farce. Everybody in the country knows that. We held referendums and we held elections that were completely fraudulent, and he just managed to stay in power through all this time. This man, when the pandemic started, he completely denied even the existence of COVID-19. He, as you just saw, was playing hockey and just completely disregarding any kind of safety that the world was implementing at that point. He didn't use any lockdowns. He didn't tell people to wear masks or use sanitizers. And for some reason, I guess he was joking, but something tells me he is just properly insane. That's why he said that you can't really see any viruses flying around here, can you? Yeah. So this was the beginning. And as time went on, Tatty, number 2, please. Oh, is the page okay? It's kind of black.
Yeah, it's coming through as transparent otherwise.
Well, in any case, in number 2, as you can see, the statistics say that we have 627 deaths so far in country of Belarus. That said, we have 10 million people living in this country. They ride the subways, they go to works and gyms and do all kinds of social activities while not taking any kind of precautions in terms of masks or sanitizers. Well, at least at first they didn't. So, tell me, do you really think that 600 people actually died during this time, whilst everywhere in the world people are dying by the thousands? And interestingly enough, Belarus only managed to have 600 people dead, whilst the president even denies that the virus even exists. I don't know about you, but that's bullshit. He and the Ministry of Health are definitely trying to skew the numbers and just to appear better in the eyes of the world. I can't really confirm this because I will explain this to you. The government of Belarus never really speaks the truth. From day one of Lukashenko's rule, every Belarusian learned that you should never, ever trust the government because it never speaks the truth. Ever. So, giving that, a lot of people, the only thing they have left is word of mouth. And in our case today, Telegram channels, where people share videos and photo evidence and etc., etc. Tatty, please, number 3.
2 seconds and we'll grab that one. Yep. Okay, and in fact,
Yeah, I think the link is broken, the tiny URL. Kind of
yeah, sure, we'll see what happens.
real quick, I think.
We got it. Oh, cool.
Yep, I fixed
There
it.
we go. Give me it. Here you go, bud.
So this website right here is it's called Belta. Belta is the official government website or news agency, I guess. And luckily for us, I didn't have to suffer and translate or look some fringe thing on the internet saying that reported on this. My president, when the pandemic started and we started and people started to die, what he did multiple times, there's even videos, but sadly I couldn't find interpreted versions. But the beauty of this Imager album that I'm in full control, and later I will add more information, and this specifically I will find a video and I will subtitle it for your, so that you can actually see that it's true. So he called the virus psychosis. So this man, as you can see on screen, I'll read it for you. You know, this psychosis over the novel coronavirus has made people more careful and more sensitive about personal hygiene, Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko said as he visited a Dani company on March 20th. He pretty much implies that coronavirus is a psychosis, that people are not really, like, it's not that big of a deal, that people are dying all over the world. It's just a psychosis. Calm down. We got this. No need for lockdowns. No need for nothing. You're overhyping it, he says. So, giving the way that he sees this situation, he went on, Tatty, please, number 4.
Cool. And number 4 is a video. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Oh, no, get fucking back here, you bastard. 2 seconds. One of those.
Yeah, you can pretty much just like skip to the part where he starts speaking.
Okay, we'll get that down, we'll get that up, and we'll get that up, and we'll do one of that bullshit. We'll skip the ad, make that full screen, we'll stop that, and then we'll get that to there. Okie dokie, bear with me 2 seconds and we'll fade that in.
It's alright.
Сегодня в составе парадных расчетов лучшие и наиболее подготовленные военнослужащие.
В этом обезумевшем, потерявшем ориентиры мире найдутся люди, осуждающие нас за место и время проведения этого священного действа. Хочу им сказать по-человечески: не торопитесь делать выводы, а тем более осуждать нас, наследников победы белорусов. Мы просто не могли иначе. У нас не было другого выбора. А если и был бы, мы поступили бы так же. Потому что на нас смотрят глаза погибших за нашу свободу советских солдат.
And we can stop here pretty much. So as you've seen just now, this, what you just saw, was called Victory Day Parade. This is a day that we celebrate in Belarus. This day we finally defeated the Nazis. We fought and we won. This day is very important to everyone, including me, because I understand the weight of this holiday. But as you noticed in the video, while he was speaking, he said that he had no choice but to make this, pardon me, he had no choice but to make this Victory Day Parade. Even though, I honestly, I think this year, he could not. Notice that nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody's social distancing. Nobody's even doing the slightest steps to protect people around them and themselves. Because that's the thing. Nobody cares. The most important part, that he doesn't care, and because he doesn't care, he tells everybody not to care. And the country just rolls on, keeps on going. And people kept dying and dying. All right, let's go to number 5. Tatty?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right.
Чаще мойте руки, вовремя завтракайте, обедайте и ужинайте. Ну, я человек не пьющий, но в последнее время в шутку говорю, что водкой надо не только руки мыть, но, наверное, и в день 40-50 грамм в пересчете на чистый спирт травить этот вирус. Но не на работе. Я желаю вам успехов. Здоровья, не болейте. Сегодня сходите в сауну сухую. Ну, если 2-3 раза в неделю, тоже полезно. Китайцы нам подсказали, что этот вирус при плюс 60 не выдерживает.
Okay. Careful, Tucker is coming up.
Yeah, fuck Tucker. The fuck he is, mate. The fuck he is.
So as you just saw, this man sits down in front of everybody, in front of the nation on national television, and tells, "Oh, just drink some more vodka." The Chinese advised us to just, they told us that the virus dies above 60 degrees Celsius. So just go and have a Finnish sauna, It's fine. Relax. And this is the kind of man that controls the country. And I was just in utter awe when this was happening. I couldn't believe my eyes. Out of all people, I would assume that this guy that absolutely loves control and like manipulating people and having everybody in lines, he would love to implement a lockdown, but he didn't. He didn't have any kind of plans. He just didn't care. Just go and have vodka and go to a sauna. You're gonna be fine. And that was the beginning of his end, because again, not confirmed information. I'm just telling you from word of mouth. People hated that because people were terrified, because there's a deadly virus sweeping the world. People are dying. There is no cure. Nobody even really knows properly how it like transmits and what do you need to do. Like my family members went insane. They were like using soap to disinfect the packages from the grocery stores. There was all kinds of insanities that. Anyway, this was the beginning of this was the beginning of the end. People hated him as it is, and he like gave them an even newer reason to hate him. But to understand the true depth of this man, we need to go back. We need to go back further into the past and learn something about him. So, dear viewers and people on the panel, I invite you to jump into my blue box and let's travel back into the past.
Вот комментируя итоги выборов 2006 года, вы сказали о том, что для того, чтобы они были признаны Евросоюзом, я не знаю, иронизировали вы или нет, вы сказали, что их пришлось сфальсифицировать в меньшую сторону.
Это была правда.
Пришлось сделать меньше, да?
Да.
И вот, имея в виду...
С 96 или 7% до 87 или сколько там было.
И вот, имея в виду будущие выборы, вы уже определили себе тот барьер, который вам
да,
лучше...
определил. Мне хотелось бы, чтобы за меня проголосовало 2/3 населения. Это конституционное, можно сказать, большинство населения, и тогда это высочайшая степень доверия. Если за меня проголосует 70-75% населения, не надо как 95 или 7 было в прошлый раз, это будет очень хорошо.
А вы уже такие задачи формулировали предвыборному штабу или какому?
Нет, сказал так, что если люди будут идти и голосовать за Лукашенко, то вы их, пожалуйста, на пороге не держите.
So this video is very old. It's from, I believe it was 1998 or something like that. This was a time where he assembled a meeting with Russian reporters, and this reporter particularly, I have to say, excuse me for not having this video subtitled. Understand that this video is pretty old. I will later, after this stream is over, have it subtitled and up on my second channel that you can find in the description, and I will update this Imager album so that you can get to that video. So the reporter asks him, is it true that you actually stated that you changed the results of the election? Or were you being ironic? So the reporter gives him sort of space to work with, to swim in, let's put it that way. Lukashenko, on the other hand, he, being the straightforward man, he says, no, we actually did change the results of the election. The results were way too high. Somewhere in the 97th something. So we had to lower them to about 80-ish. So this man, multiple times, this isn't the only video. I will have more. I will make an entire collage of them and subtitle them, where he straight out admits on national television to the world that he actually fakes results. It doesn't matter really that he lowered them. The fact that he actually says that he controls them is the key word here. Because he has a very strong ally in that he himself put into the what's it in English? How do I call it? It's a committee, and her name is Yermoshina. She is the one that's counting the votes, and she is the one that pretty much decides the percentage of the votes that are allocated to him. Yeah. So this is the kind of man that we're talking about. He, before we go to the next slide, a small reminder, he became president in 1994. Tatty, number 7, please. I apologize in advance again. Number 7 is also not subtitled. It's more of a visual. Tatty.
Sorry, just realised I was muted there. Sorry, folks. Just saying, yep, just lining that up now, coming in now.
It's all right. Have a look at this.
Or is it the Wikipedia link you were after?
No, the one above.
Oh.
Because I kind of made a GIF, sort of, I guess, or a video.
Hold on, give me 2 wee seconds, mate. So that was number 7, so
7
number
right
6.
underneath.
Right, the one underneath. Right, with you. I just when you said number 7, I went to number 7 is supposed to.
No. 7, and you have the link right underneath this, the first signs of resistance.
That's I'm pretty sure. Give me 2 wee seconds. That is the video that was playing.
But there was no sound.
No.
Strange.
Yeah, very strange, but bear with me. I think there was sound on the stream. Folks in the chat, did you hear sound on the stream there?
Well, it's not really important because it's in Russian anyway.
Ah, cool. Fair enough. I'll keep playing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teddy, there was actually sound on the stream.
Cool.
Okay, good.
Что вы делаете? Оставьте ребята! Оставьте людей! Что вам надо? Чего вы перестали снимать? Оставьте! Импичмент!
Президент Республики Беларусь отменил выделяет два своих указа, которые касаются обязательности голосования по Конституции на референдуме. Верховный Совет в лице председателя Верховного Совета отзывает из Конституционного суда все материалы, связанных с импичментом президента.
Мы рады этому решению.
I think you can pretty much stop here. So what you just saw is the results of the 1996 referendum. Apart from having elections, we had multiple referendums. And on 1996, that was the first referendum that people were actually able to vote and have a choice in the matter. So their voices were ignored, as usual, because Lukashenko did not have that in his plans. And people started protesting because they realized who he is. This was the first signs of what kind of person he is. And people caught wind of that. They started protesting. And it was escalating to a point that Lukashenko went to Moscow, and with their help, they decided to just throw away the ability of people to vote on the referendum or have any kind of impeachment abilities. The Constitution should not have any impeachment capabilities. Yeah. So, number 8, please. Tattie?
То, что у нас выборы пройдут, ну, очень хорошо пройдут, без всяких нарушений. И особенно, что тут вот подкидывают цыган. Фальсифицировать власть будет выбор.
Eddie, back up.
No. Hang on. I got this. I can fix this. I accidentally included the wrong link, and I will remedy that in just a second, please.
Time, mate.
Well, this is awkward. This is what happens, people, when you rush this completely. Deutsche Welle. Where's that video? Where did I put it? There it is. Okay, Teddy, a little bit. I'm going to drop this video into the side chat for you to play, and I will be replacing it right now in the album too.
Okay, I was looking adverts, so give me 2 wee seconds. Skip ad, fuck off, thank you. And then we'll just okay, so right.
Yeah, Jack, is this the one we've got a time limit on?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so
because
be careful after 2 minutes 27.
Because if it's too long. It's 7 minutes, people are going to fall asleep. 2 minutes 27 is enough to get the gist.
2:27, okay, I'll keep a wee eye on that. And here we go. Sound for us will come in after a few seconds.
A Belarus government death squad was responsible for the disappearance of 3 opposition leaders 20 years ago. That was when Alexander Lukashenko started consolidating his hold on power in the former Soviet Republic. Now, those allegations come from a man who claims to have been a member of that death squad. Today, Lukashenko rules Belarus with an iron fist. The country is described as Europe's last dictatorship. In a moment, I'll talk to our correspondent who got this exclusive. But first, here's his report.
Yuri Guravsky is living in a Central European country and is seeking asylum there. In a Deutsche Welle exclusive, he tells us about his time in a regime death squad in Belarus and reveals new details about a series of crimes. A number of opposition politicians in Belarus disappeared 2 decades ago, and it's still not known what happened to them. On the evening of May the 7th, 1999, Yuri Zakharenko parked his car here near the old firehouse in Minsk and was never seen again. At that time, the former interior minister was a leading figure in the opposition. Zakharenko and his supporters wanted to prevent the country descending into dictatorship and to remove President Alexander Lukashenko. Lukashenko had organized and won 2 controversial referendums to expand his powers and neutralize parliament. Since then, Lukashenko has ruled the country alone. Belarus is considered the last dictatorship in Europe. This reenactment of the murder of Yuri Zakharenko is based on statements made exclusively to us, DW, by Yuri Guravsky. 4 members of a special military unit abducted and shot Zakharenko dead in a forest. Guravsky tells us he was one of them and an accomplice to the crime, and that as a member of the armed forces he had no choice. 20 years later, he has a message for Zakharenko's family.
I offer my sincere condolences. I took part in the murder. I offer you my apologies. I can show you the burial site on a map. The rest is up to you and Belarus's law enforcement system.
So, this is what happens to people inside of this country that decide to oppose the hierarchy of Lukashenko. He just straight up took people and murdered them so that they don't stand in his way, so that they don't ruin his vision of a perfect dictatorship utopia that he's building. I can't really say much because there's not much to say. It's just tragic. But that's the world that I live in, sadly. And my family and my friends, and I can't really do much about it, but I'm trying by telling this to you. All right, Tatty, number 9, please.
2 seconds on me, and that one, yeah, yep.
Я считаю, что режим должен пасть.
So, what you just witnessed was the peak of people's not the peak. This is where people drew the line in the sand and tried to finally change something for real. In December of 2010, we had an election. There were opposition people trying to, win the election properly. They tried to gather votes. They tried everything to do everything legally, according to the law of Belarus. The only thing that they didn't really understand fully is that you can't win in a game the rules of which are constantly changing. So, the election passed, and obviously Lukashenko won. Surprise! Who'd have thought? And people went out on the streets of Minsk. Thousands upon thousands of people came out because they were fed up. They were tired. It's enough is enough. Go. Nobody believes you anymore that you win with 80% margin. It's nonsense. So people gathered and they went to protest. They came to the Lenin Square in Minsk. On that square resides a government, the government building, essentially the controlling organ of the country that decides pretty much everything. So, again, a warning, word of mouth, no real evidence aside from word of the people. In the crowds, there were undercover cops. What they did is led people towards the building and started bashing the windows. Because they started bashing the windows and because they were wearing the plain clothes just like everybody else, the government responded with force. What you just saw on the screen was that force. During these clashes and everything, the opposition leaders, the candidates, they were brutalized to a point that they needed to be hospitalized. They were first kept inside of hospitals because they were in critical condition. You can read that in the Wikipedia article that I linked. And then suddenly, whilst they were in the hospitals, people were dying all of a sudden. For example, Oleg Bebebin was a campaign press secretary of Andrei Sannikov, one of the candidates. After being detained, that man suddenly, all of a sudden, was found hanged in his cell. And obviously everybody understood what that is, because the man never had any intentions of killing himself. Everybody understood what that was. And a lot of people went missing. A lot of people were left pretty much invalids because of what the police, Amon police did. That's what they're called. It's an acronym. I didn't bother interpreting it. Let's just go with calling it like it is. The people in black, those are Amon, and they are the most vicious force in this country. They are the ones that deal with regular folks that voice their opinions, mostly. We will come back to them pretty much very soon. All right. So now we are going to jump back into the box and go to the future, to the now. Okay, Tatty, number 10, please. Just the image. Tatty.
Tats?
Yep, yeah, you need to give me a chance to get into unmute.
Sorry, mate.
It's all right.
It's okay. I've got quite a few windows open here, believe it or not. So, are you wanting just the picture of the Three Stooges?
Yeah. Just put the Three Stooges up.
No problemo, no problemo. Give me 2 wee seconds, because I don't want to give folks any sighters of what's coming up after that, because I am that nasty piece of work. So, come here, you bugger. Yep, okie dokie, and there we go. We'll just put that kind of half screen there, and abracadabra.
All right. So, the three men in front of you, these are the three musketeers that took the challenge in 2020 to oppose Alexander Lukashenko. Ever since 2010, people have pretty much had their hands fall to the ground because they realize that there's no use, because people, they can't win. It's impossible. There was another election in 2015, but there was a really major thing that happened in 2014, if you remember, and people didn't really want to disturb the balance of force, so to speak, because Alexander Lukashenko was, believe it or not, actually trying to help Ukraine. He gathered Vladimir Putin, he gathered Angela Merkel, he gathered the then Minister of Foreign Affairs, I believe, of America. I can't recall his name, and the then president of Ukraine, Alexander Poroshenko, to the table in Minsk, to his residency, to establish something called a Minsk Protocol. Before that, Vladimir Putin and the Europeans and Americans could not establish communication with Putin because he didn't really want it to. But Alexander Lukashenko, he's buddy-buddy with Putin. So he decided to step in and become the hero, so to speak. But he became a hero only to benefit himself, because he understood if Ukraine falls, he's next, and he won't be able to fight back. So in 2015, people decided to just let it slide, I guess, because disturbing the balance of forces like that would be not in our favor, so to speak. Let the dictator play his little games. So back to 2020. These three people came to try to oppose Alexander Lukashenko. Sergei Tikhanovsky, the first man on the left, he is a blogger. He is a simple man that just started blogging because he got fed up by the government just lying to his face, obstructing him, not letting him do whatever he wants in life, not letting restore the building that he bought. And he had quite a lot of quarrels with local authorities to get permissions. So he just got fed up and he created a YouTube channel. You can find the link to that channel in the description under number 10, and have a look around. Just do that later. I'll explain what he did. He essentially just traveled the country and interviewed people and asked them how they lived, and he showed the real world, what was happening beyond the pretty palaces of Minsk and all of those fancy places that Lukashenko built with our money. The guy in the middle is Viktor Babarika. He is a guy that worked in a branch of Gazprom Bank in Minsk for 20 odd years. He is a BEO, I believe. That's essentially he was in charge of the entire bank in Minsk. He put his hands on the table and decided to run, and you would understand why, because Gazprom Bank, Russians, it's pretty obvious. You don't have to be like very smart to understand why he was running. And the third man is Valery Tsepkalo. That man is an interpret. Yeah. Oh my God, my English just stuttered. Sorry. Oh my God, he's a businessman. Screw it. He was the one that created the high technology park in Minsk, the division of companies that drives the country forward and creates. They do programming. They create apps, that kind of stuff. He also was very close to people inside of the government, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to create that technology park. So a lot of people had their suspicions about him. And that's pretty much the roster of people. So, Tatty, please, number 11.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we've been going for an hour already.
No. No problem, man. This is important. Jesus.
All right.
Very, very important.
Absolutely.
I'll just say that I've just remarked in chat that this is sounding very much like Nicolae Ceausescu and how that went down in Romania so many years ago.
Oh, yes. A lot of people bring that up these days.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll pass it back to you.
Вот скажите, пожалуйста, вот сейчас в стране эпидемия, да? И вот коронавирус. И вот вы собрали вот эту вот акцию, как бы. Вы не боитесь потом, что люди могут заболеть? Ну вот люди стоят некоторые без масок у вас.
У нас глава государства решил, что выборы проводить можно. Я уже поговорил.
Подождите.
Я не хочу с вами говорить. Уберите от меня руки свои. Руки уберите от меня.
Вот вы мне скажите, пожалуйста.
Пойдите отсюда. Я не хочу с вами разговаривать.
Шутить можно, на провокации не поддавайтесь.
Такого уровня провокаторов еще не было.
Кто вы такая?
Селфи можно? У меня Сергей Иванович. Добрый день, старший школа-инспектор.
Уберите ее.
Я задала вопрос человеку, он от меня убегает, и я хочу получить ответ. Понимаете? Хочу получить просто ответ, вот и все. Дело в том, что я хочу получить ответ.
Стойте, Ай-яй-яй!
Что случилось? Сань, на телефон. Куда уходить? Вон ОМОН уже, ребят, работает ОМОн. Сергей, вон ОМОн уже. Что вы делаете? Вообще, смотрите. Ребята, какая-то провокация, мы ничего не делаем. Ничего не нарушаем. Ребят, ничего не нарушаем. Ребят, ничего не делаем. Что случилось?
Успешные кейсы белорусских предпринимателей, их ошибки и проблемы. Добрый день.
Здравствуйте, я ваш подписчик. Ну, я с Полоцка, я просто...
Okay, we can stop here.
Спрашивали, где же...
It's a little bit too forward for that, but okay. So, as you've seen, Sergei was organizing kind of a rally. He was doing that all across the country. He was doing work. He was talking with people. He was hearing out their concerns. And this happened in his hometown, I believe. If that's correct. I'm sorry for the burp. Yes, this happened in his hometown. He was just having a rally with people, and suddenly this woman just shows up, starts asking questions, grabbing him, being kind of, suddenly, out of nowhere, as you just saw, policemen show up and go, and they just start like, hello, what's going on? You asked, you called us? No? Yes? Okay, we're gonna go take him. They go for him, and obviously people got caught wind of what's going on, but they couldn't prevent it. As of that day, Sergei is still in prison. Even today, he's still in prison. They were putting him in the what's that room called in English?
Solitary confinement.
Exactly. They put him in solitary confinement for weeks on end because apparently he was behaving not correctly while he was being in prison. So this kind of provocation, is kind of the norm here. As you understand, Lukashenko doesn't play fair. He instigated this whole situation so that he can take one pawn off the chessboard off the chessboard, and so he did, because he is still in prison. Okay, let's have a look at the second one, but it's an article, so it's fine. It's mostly number 12, Tatty, please. Unfortunately, I was not able to find any video or images because this information is really hard to come by, especially in English.
I'm getting a bit of buffering going on, by the way.
Well, lucky you. Keep it to yourself.
Oh, okay, I'll live with it.
Love it.
There we go, and we'll just, yep, there you go, mate.
Wait, is that it? Can you
National Post?
Yes, correct. Reuters. Good old Reuters. This is the only article that I was able to find regarding this issue for some reason, because nobody really picked up on it. So, what Lukashenko did the second guy, since Sergei was gone, the next guy in line was getting the most attention, Viktor Babarika. Even people completely disregarded the fact that he might be a Russian asset, that he might be a plug-in, so to speak. They just didn't care. They wanted to get rid of Lukashenko, no matter what, no matter who. And then they will just deal with it later, I guess. So Viktor Babarika was picking up speed. People were coming to him. He was speaking out, and he was coming off really strong. He said, "I'm going to do everything according to laws." He was doing interviews, a lot of interviews actually. He can even speak English, believe it or not, unlike our president that can barely speak Russian. I'm not sure if you didn't know, if you knew this, but he doesn't actually speak either Russian or Belarusian. He is using some sort of weird cross breed of those two languages, and it's just so village, let's put it that way. But we got used to it. Anyway, back to Viktor. So Lukashenko decided to do the most easiest thing that he could come up with. He just framed Viktor. He came to the bank of Belgazprom Bank, which is, just a reminder, the daughter bank of Gazprom that's situated in Minsk. They pretty much raided it and put Babarika and his son, mind you, in prison under suspicion of fraud and some sort of manipulation of some sort of financial manipulation. He didn't even properly justify this. He just magicked it out of thin air, and then he just went on and made some kind of story along. In essence, what he did, he took complete control of the bank. He established his own people from the government to operate that bank. And let's just say that Russia wasn't very happy about that, because they lost a huge amount of money because of that. Millions. I can't really remember how much, but we can have a look actually, to be accurate, for the sake of it, for the sake of accuracy. 9.5 million have been lining up at the no, that's not it. Anyway, let's not dwell. I included 2 articles. You can read them at your own pace. I'm just giving you the bigger picture. Go and investigate yourself. Do your own research, so to speak.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
So let's do number 13. This is really good. This is really good because it's in English, fully, no subtitles. You can just listen.
Why is that going like that? Oh, talk amongst yourselves 2 seconds there, folks. It's going a wee bit skewy with here, and it shouldn't have. But, I see what you've done, you bastard. There you go. Cool. All good. All good. Here we go, folks.
I made a decision to escape from Belarus. We spoke with my wife. There were 2 different signals from 2 different sources that they were planning to arrest me. And then they approached our sons, our boys, and they wanted to deprive us with the parent rights. So we made a decision to take both of our boys from Minsk and to bring them here. I was moving together with my wife all over Belarus, and more people were coming. And when the number of them started to exceed 300 and sometimes reached 500, Lukashenko made a decision to take me away as the last remaining candidate among these 3 big major candidates. He's scared, he is afraid, he demonstrated the cowardly behavior because he cannot stand openly against any opposition leader, against any opposition candidates. I think I'm absolutely right that I didn't give him an opportunity to talk bad things about me without being able to reply back to him. And I'm not a gift for him to be put into prison and start to trade later on with the Western countries or with Russia to trade political detainees in exchange for financial support. If people would not go out to the streets, it would be impossible for me to get back because I would be taken as a hostage. You know, if he take kids as hostages, you know, just then he can definitely take every one of his political opponent as a hostages.
You bugger, get back here. Here we go.
So that was Valery Tsepkalo. He pretty much is a well-connected man in the government of Belarus. He has friends in high places, and he was told by his friends that Lukashenko will try to deprive him of his parents' rights, like he said, because that's the way that he works. That's how his sick mind operates. He will take everything from you. Everything. Your freedom, your right to speak, your children, your everything. So Valery, being the smart man, he fled. like he said, he didn't want to be a pawn to be traded like an object. He didn't want to be a political prisoner. So he did the right thing and just went to Russia, because we don't really have a border with Russia, so there's no people at the border, the border patrols, to stop him from going to Russia. And I guess it was a good call, because Lukashenko would probably do something to him too. That's a fact. That's not even like a thing to debate. It's obvious. Yeah. Nobody really is upset at him for it, because people understand that the stakes are really high. Let's have a look at number 14, Tatty.
Everything is destroying step by step, very slowly, but destroying, while our government, while people who are in the power, they are becoming richer, yes, and people live more poorer and poorer. We should change. We need respect from our government, and this government will never respect us, because for more than 20 years it didn't. So it will never. They will never, think about our people, as as unity. We just were working power for them, I believe and I'm sure that this year will be different. Then in this year, in a couple of days, our Central Commission will count properly, because they see the mood of people and they realize how it can be end. I'm not going to call people anywhere, because I know that our government can do anything with these people, and I don't want to be a leader of all this. But if they will, I will be nearby these people. I'm not going to lead them, of course not, because this way is, it's destructural. I don't want people to be shot. I don't want these people to be shot. I don't want to be shot myself. But this will be our people's decision, not mine.
Okay, so who's this woman, you ask? This woman is Svetlana Tikhanovskaya. She is the wife of Sergei Tikhanovsky. She took the mantle when she realized that there's no way out of this situation, that she would need to do something. She has the power to do something. Because since Sergei is gone, well, not gone, but, So she decided to step in and become a candidate. And surprisingly enough, Alexander Lukashenko allowed this, which was pretty interesting. So she became a candidate and she began gathering signatures. I will explain why signatures. Signatures are a mandatory thing that is required for a person to become a candidate in Belarus. You cannot just run for president like in America, let's say. You cannot just decide on a whim. You need to prove to the government that you actually have some kind of supporting power behind you. And that supporting power, the bare minimum, is 100,000 signatures. And the government is the one that's actually counting those signatures from people. It's not nobody else is allowed to, so they can warp and twist and turn those signatures however they like. That was happening to pretty much every candidate, to Viktor, to Sergei, to Tsepkala. They were gathering signatures. A lot of the signatures were cut. Viktor wasn't even accepted to run into the candidacy, even though he gathered something like 400,000 signatures. They cut it down and called like most of them illegitimate somehow. So Sveta stepped in, and Lukashenko surprisingly allowed it. But there's a reason he did that, because it was playing into his favor. He is a sexist. And I'm saying it like with 100% certainty because of the article that I'm going to show you next, and because of the things that he said. Whenever he discussed Sveta, and he only did like in Tatty, can you pull up number 15, please? So there's this article from Washington Post, and they give me a moment, please. I need to open the article myself. Lukashenko said many things about women. He said that she would collapse, poor thing, that she wouldn't be able to hold the weight of the presidency, that the Constitution is not equipped to have a woman president. Can you believe that somebody would actually utter something so stupid? And the funniest thing is that he is the one to blame for the fact that the Constitution cannot equip a woman to be president. And he also said that the country has not, the people have not, the country has not matured enough to vote for a woman. Well, surprise, surprise. When it came to actually like voting for Sveta, independent polls showed that she gathered insane amount of support because, first of all, people had no other choice. There were other candidates that were still present, and surprisingly enough, they were left alone. They were not in prison. They were just patsies. They were government patsies. People in high places just, being Pinocchio for the government and having creating an image of filling empty seats with their butts. Let's put it that way. So people went to vote, and surprise, surprise, Lukashenko won with 80% of the votes. Pretty funny, isn't it? So people obviously did not like that. They even on August 9th, the day of when the voting was held, people registered a lot of violations of the voting procedure. The independent observers were not allowed in. There's a protocol, and that the voting committee has, and they write it down, the amount of people that came, and the independent observers write down the amount of people that they see with their eyes. And when cross-examined, you could see that the protocol that was written by the voting committee is several times bigger than the actual amount of people that came. That's actually in the preliminary voting. We have a system where you can vote before the actual day of the vote. And a lot of and this is the period of time where normal people don't actually show up. Mostly the elderly are being driven by the government. There's even video of that. I didn't have time to fetch that, but I'll add it later with subtitles. There's one particular video that I think I have saved somewhere on my drive that's super showing. They just drive them to the voting. They use schools as voting buildings, surprisingly. And teachers and the teaching staff is the one that's responsible for counting and managing everything. So can you imagine just the people in your country that teach your children that the most sacred thing of your life, they are the ones that falsifying the elections, essentially, by the hand of the government, by the order of Lukashenko. I kind of lost track a little bit. Yeah, so people voted on August 9th, and even before the voting day ended, people were already out protesting because they already knew that they can't win, that he's going to just lie. So let's have a look. Tatty, number 16, please.
If by number 16 you mean the second link in the side chat, then we can do that. Because there's only on
no. This one's clean. This one's clean. Number 16 is like there's a link to a YouTube video from a Russian outlet. We're just going to have a look.
No, you're missing my point here. My point is the link he gave me has 15 on it, so 16
15 minutes.
No.
Sorry.
Is up to and including number 15. I do not have a number 16.
Oh.
So to what are you referring?
Oh, just refresh.
Tatty, refresh the page.
Just F5.
Few more after it.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly, Imager doesn't auto update. So.
Right with you. Cool. No worries. Thanking you. 3 wee seconds in and drink. Okay, get rid of that, get that, and get you back. No. Okie dokie. And why are you not fucking showing? Why are you not showing?
We can wait.
Oh, Christ on a bike. Hold on, I've just lost all everything on that. Right, no, you're okay. No, it's not. I've not lost any links. I have lost the setup for the video on OBS. Give me 2 seconds. I will get a new one, but it will take me 2 minutes just to get everything up and running again. Yep, you bastard. And okay.
I think, Jack, we're all feeling this.
We most certainly are.
What exactly?
Just the
atmosphere.
The depth of what you're going through over there, dude, and your people. This is just shocking. The shit out of me. It really is.
Cool. Right, finally got it behaving.
This sadly is not English, but
Тишину вечернего Минска прерывают взрывы светошумовых гранат после закрытия избирательных участков и появления первых предварительных данных о победе Александра Лукашенко по всей Белоруссии. На улицы вышли тысячи человек. В крупнейших городах, несогласные с результатами выборов граждане, стали собираться на несанкционированные акции протеста. Стычки с милицией начались практически сразу. К местам скопления людей стягивают спецтехнику, подразделения ОМОНа и машины скорой помощи. Задержания наиболее активных митингующих следуют одно за другим. По данным СМИ, в Минске есть задержанные и пострадавшие, однако официального подтверждения этих данных нет. В соцсетях расходятся кадры, как в толпу манифестантов на полной скорости въезжает автозак и сбивает человека.
Он убил. Он убил человека.
Повсюду слышны выстрелы. Правоохранители применяют резиновые пули, слезоточивый газ и водометы. Они выстраиваются в шеренги и постепенно рассеивают толпу.
Тебя ОМОН так? Да. Ты что-то провоцировал? Не, они сами...
Нет, просто убегал. В этот момент в штабе главного оппонента действующего президента призывают прекратить насилие. К народу обращается сама Светлана Тихановская.
Любое силовое противостояние бессмысленно. Страна изменилась. Мы действуем в рамках закона и исключительно мирно. Еще раз прошу милицию и войска, помните, что вы часть народа. Еще раз прошу избирателей, никаких провокаций. Не давайте повода к применению насилия.
Не очень спокойно было и в других странах. У посольств республики весь день стояли очереди, но проголосовать смогли далеко не все. Люди требовали продлить время работы участков, а где-то и вовсе шли на провокации. В России же голосование прошло без инцидентов. В Москве уже поздним вечером полицейские попросили несколько сотен человек разойтись и не создавать препятствий для движения. Среди них появилась и недавно покинувшая Белоруссию супруга незарегистрированного кандидата Цепкала.
Я очень надеюсь, что наши правоохранительные органы и силовые структуры станут на сторону народа, потому что наш народ ничего не просит что-то сверх того, что предусмотрено законом. Наш народ просит всего лишь открытых, честных, демократических выборов. Наш народ просит базовое право любого гражданина. Это избирать и быть избранным.
К утру ситуация в Минске нормализовалась. По некоторым данным, ночью задержали более 100 человек, а места столкновений теперь осматривают сотрудники Следственного комитета страны. Павел Зимин и Алексей Зиняев. Новости 360.
So that's how Minsk looked on the night of August 9th. People were being bombarded with flashbangs that were bought from the Czech Republic. That's important. That'll come back later. And those flashbangs were actually so strong that people had their limbs ripped off. There's video out there of a kid, literal kid, like, I don't know, 18, 19, something, barely adult. Couple of seconds, shows his leg like ripped off by that flashbang. It's just torn. It's just dangling like at his like thigh. They were using rubber bullets. They were beating people mercilessly. That guy you saw on a staircase, you saw that the cop was hitting him on his knees. No, wait, that's too early. You saw that the cop was hitting him on his knees. He already grabbed him. He could just drag him away, but he was continuing hitting him on his knees. People died. That guy that was run over by that's a police van, by the way. A detention police van. Amon, sorry, uses it to transport people to the detention facilities where they keep brutalizing them. And we're going to come back to that later. There's a separate video for that. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice here. On August 10th, I fled before that because I already knew what's to come. I knew that people were going to be beaten, that the cops are going to just go ape shit. They're going to be everywhere and grabbing everybody if you're protesting or not protesting. You saw those people next to a bench, right, on that video just now. It's the end of that video. The video we're going to watch, let's see. After that, yes, is going to be showing the full extent of that video, because those people weren't protesting. They were just sitting on a bench next to their apartment complex. That the cops intentionally went inside of a cul-de-sac. I guess that's the word I'm going to use, because there isn't really a word in English for that. The inside square between the apartment complex buildings. That's what I'm referring to. intentionally went in there to grab people, because some people were fleeing and hiding inside of the apartment complex like a staircase well, so that they can escape. That didn't help. That didn't help much.
Before you go any further, can I just say that the following videos, some of them are quite graphic. And as I said in the beginning, we usually don't do politics on this channel because that's not what we're about. But this is just too damn important. So before we even continue, Clapperjack, thank you again for being here and for telling us all this. And for everyone that is watching, we have about 60 people watching. Please get this information out. I know it's hard, and I know people don't want politics when they're coming home at the end of the day, but this is just too damn important.
Speaking of spreading information about this, I have a Twitter account that I subsequently just it was just for shit posting. I don't like Twitter because I only came there for the crazies. When that was like something that mattered to me, for the flat earthers, QAnons, everything. I flipped that Twitter instantly around when I realized how bad the place that I live in truly is. And I just started doing all I can, interpreting everything into English and spreading the word. So probably should include that in the description somewhere, but not right now.
Well, we will.
So you can use that. You can use that. Let's have a look at video number 8 at number 18, and let's skip number 17. Number 17. Yeah, we'll skip number 17 and come back to it a little bit later.
Jack, I just want to reiterate something that's come through in chat. Now, Penny just said this isn't politics, though.
It's not.
This is basic human rights.
Basic human rights. Basic. I'll come back to that too. There's a very philosophic thing that I can bring up later. But now number 18. The music is not copyrighted. It's I believe so, but we can turn it off. The people are already. Mind you, all of these people are on top. No guns, no bats, no noise. These guys right here, they were just sitting on a bench with their bikes in the middle of the city, in the middle of the day. Nice.
Yeah, it's made with bits of real panther. So you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Oh, yeah. It stings the nostrils. In a good way. Yeah. Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline. 60% of the time, it works. Every time. That doesn't make sense.
This video, the guy gets on his knees for the car. What happens? Live rounds or rubber bullets, don't really know. These guys running away, bikes on their feet. What does this guy do? Shoots them in the back. And here, people were scolding these guys in the windows. What do they respond with? didn't run. That guy's alive, by the way. He didn't die.
Yep. It's made with bits of real panther. So you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Oh, yeah.
Miracle.
Stings the nostrils. In a good way. Yeah. Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells
Heating
like
up
pure gasoline.
press.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Oh, I guess there is a reason so
That
that
doesn't
this
make sense.
won't get out. Right on the head. Bang. And on the ass. This guy's have some of that.
I just want to quickly read out a comment there in the chat. Anacito Maradona. And I know I got that last time wrong. I'm sorry. This is just organised crime with badge protection.
He got lucky. This is just in the middle of the day. What else? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them. Getting one guy. Not all of them, but this guy they pulled right out of the car. This guy's going home. These bikers were stopped. They were really cracking down on bikers because they were afraid that bikers would do something stupid.
Yep. It's made with bits of real panther.
The
So you
guy
know
that's
it's good.
running around, by
It's
the way,
quite
he has a gun.
pungent. Oh, yeah. Stings the
That's the only
nostrils.
reason that they won't.
In a good way.
And here comes the hero.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
60% of the time,
Savior of
it
Belarus.
works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
This one is my favorite. That's an ambulance. Those are not protesters. Those are police. Throwing flashbangs at the car. The same flashbangs that rip through flesh. These guys were shooting at cars. Shooting at cars. I'm not sure if those were live rounds or rubber bullets, but they did. People in Belarus don't own guns, by the way. We're not allowed to. Allegedly, this guy was honking his horn in solidarity with protesters.
Yep. It's made with bits of real panther. So you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Oh, yeah. Stings the nostrils.
Mark Meadows.
Yep. Oh, no.
Oops.
We don't need that. So, since August 9th, all of this was happening. And it kept escalating and escalating and escalating. People were being brutalized and killed. Are we going to give out the video? The one. That one. With the guy. That's
Which video?
Let's see now. Radio Freedom. You know what? I'm gonna link it to the. I don't know how to show it to people because maybe we can link it in the live stream chat. What do you think about that? Because if we show that, we might definitely get in trouble. So people, if you can have a quick look at that. That video is 2 minutes. We can probably have a little tiny break while you're doing so. That I really want you to watch that video because that's important. The video that you're going to watch is of Alexander Taraikovsky. Alexander Taraikovsky, 34 years old, father of a 3-year-old daughter, married, businessman. He went out to protest at the Pushkinskaya station in Minsk, subway station. He had his hands up, and he came up to a line of cops. They responded with a shot with a live ammo, and they killed him. Later, the government claimed that Alexander had a makeshift explosive device in his hand, and that's why the police officers, or whoever the hell they were threatened. However, in the video, you can clearly see that his hands were up, and he didn't actually have anything in his hands. It was just murder. Blatant murder. Uh-oh. Has it been 2 minutes? Did anyone count? I think
Mine's still rolling at the moment. Just give it about another 30 seconds.
Oh, damn it. I should have just opened it and looked at it while I was talking. That's a good idea, Colin, but I screwed it up.
Okay. Mine's just into the funeral side of it, so I think we're done.
Yeah. The people held a funeral. Lots of people came. While all of this was happening, Tatty, can you please do number 17 right now? Just you can do the tweet itself or the image. I don't think it really matters. So, according to NetBlocks, which is some sort of organization that the only organization actually that kept track of all of this. Surprise, surprise. Thank you, NetBlocks, for this. Before all of this was happening, I knew that shit was going to go down. So I fled like a coward beyond the city limits to hide. While people were dying for my freedom, I was cowering. And I'm not proud of that. During that time, the internet was entirely shut down. They were warning us prior to all of this. They were telling from TV, the Minister of Defense told us, if there's going to be a threat to the government, we're going to shut down the internet. And so they did. I thought they were bluffing. Because to shut down the internet entirely in a whole country is colossal waste of money. Just insane losses, millions upon millions of dollars worth of loss. The money that my country, by the way, doesn't have. It's just insane. So I wake up like away from the city. I had a LAN connection to the internet, a pretty good one, like 50 megabits. I wake up, the cellular network is down, the LAN network is down. I have some medium, above average expertise in computers. What I did first is try to troubleshoot the problem and understand how are they doing it to bypass it. So I opened command prompt and I tried to ping the most basic thing a person can do, to ping a website. So I typed ping google.com and Google responded. I was surprised. I opened up the browser, I typed google.com, and the page just was stuck in infinite load. I tried site after site after site after site. Every single site was responding through command prompt, but through the browsing, no, it didn't. Telegram was down. Everything was down. So that whole thing lasted for 3 days, since August 10th to August, 10th, 13th. Yeah. Internet was down, but people still managed to get in because Telegram is an incredible app. We're going to messaging app. We're going to come back to that. It's stuff of revolutionaries. It might actually be one of the foundations that will topple this asshole in power in my country. And I'm not even kidding. Pavel Durov, the guy that created it, he also created VKontakte. He hates the Russian government because they took away his creation of VKontakte, and he went on to America to create Telegram, the most security-based type of thing, and it has built-in proxies, pretty much like a built-in VPN that you can connect. And through those, I was able to actually connect to the internet, and through that, I was able to find a way to, because word of mouth was spreading, people organized into like these national Telegram groups where they were sending videos and pictures and the happenings. That's how all of these videos are out there. You might have noticed they have like watermarks like Nexta or Belmova. Those are the channels. You can visit them yourself and have a look at all of them. Like the history of all of those happenings are there. That's where all of those news outlets are actually gathering these videos, and so do I, because yeah, I guess that's the way these days. And through that, I was able to find out, and through net blocks, that they were cutting down DNS services, and that the government ordered the cellular providers to actually shut down access to DNS servers. So there's, in case any one of you ever comes into a situation like this where your government pretty much bends you over, and you know what, there's a program called Siphon 3. And what it does, it creates a direct connection to a different computer in a different country. It's kind of like a VPN, but it uses a different protocol called SSH, which is more secure and stable, and used actually more to connect to servers. Because at my previous job, that's exactly what I was doing. I had a computer in the office, and the server room was somewhere like on the 3rd floor, and I could just connect to the window of the server via SSH by putting in proper credentials. So that's what was happening, essentially. But time passes for everyone, and the government realized, or I don't know what happened, actually, nobody knows. On day 4, like NetBlocks actually says, the internet was suddenly turned back on. Why? I'll tell you why. Because we lost approximately, according to NetBlocks, I couldn't find the diagram for you, $170 million. $170 million. And that's like an estimate. Some people say that it's in 200s. Though, just imagine for a second that amount of money inside of your apartment, physically, like cash. You would not be able to spend that money in like 10 lifetimes if you would just live your life normally, like buying groceries and filling your car and paying taxes and whatever. We don't have that money. The country's economy was already like a pseudo economy that was like the pillars of which were just loans upon loans upon loans from Russia, from everybody. Yeah. So we expect the currency, the Belarusian ruble, to start inflating again, which we already experienced multiple times. We experienced inflation. We experienced I'm not sure how to call that in English. Can you guys help me? What's that in English when they slice the zeros of a currency? Devaluation?
Devalue, yeah.
So we experienced that once, thankfully, or twice.
It's very dangerous to devalue your currency.
Yeah, but they did. They did, because that's how they manipulate everybody, and people lost thousands of dollars back then too. So let's have a look at the video number 19, the last one. From there on, it's just we're gonna have a discussion, and I'm going to give you an anecdote. Mind you, this is like the broadest, the most concise, to the point thing that I could assemble in at short notice.
I'll try, but we'll see what happens with this, because I'm not fucking confident the way this is going now.
Warning to people that are going to see this video. You're gonna hear and read the subtitles if you're gonna keep up, and see with your eyes what the cops did to people when they took them to the detention center called Akrestina in Minsk. That's the most vicious, the most infamous detention center in the entire city. And it's not going to be pretty. Not going to be pretty at all.
Меня сразу принимают несколькими ударами, говорят мордой в пол, я падаю лицом в пол, говорят руки за голову, начинают месить меня, бьют везде, бьют, в основном по ногам бьют и по ягодицам. И достают мой телефон, спрашивают, типа, давайте, надо его подстричь, он какой-то. Берут меня за волосы, отрезают мне волосы. Волосы у меня в кармане джинс сейчас. Продолжают бить, достают телефон, читают мои сообщения, постоянно угрожают изнасилованием, палку мне тычут между булок. Такие, что мы тебе петушком сейчас сделаем. И бьют. Их как моли, можешь их молить, можешь их не молить, они тебя продолжают бить. То есть я их просил, говорю, мужики, не бейте. Они бьют по одним и тем же местам. У них навязчивая мысль, что мне кто-то заплатил, или что я под наркотой. То есть у них постоянно меня спрашивают, что ты под наркотой, а кто тебе заплатил? То есть у них одна и та же мысль, им походу объяснили, что все, кто протестует, они либо под наркотой, им заплатили. И постоянно выискивали, кто у меня информатор. Не информатор, а координатор. Я говорю, божки, у меня нет никакого координатора, я телеграм-каналы читаю. У меня лично никакого координатора нет, но они в это не верят. Вот, ну и тут говорят, ну все, мы сейчас тебя заведем, и все, они это время говорили, что это были еще цветочки. И дальше ведут меня, это уже около Стеллы было, они меня вывели, ведут меня к автозаку другому, и тут я слышу вопли, лютые вопли такие. И они говорят, вот там один жирный, вот сейчас ты на его месте будешь. Ну, значит, захожу я в другой автозак этот, я говорю, мужики, я уже полностью осознал свою вину, не трогайте меня, я не собираюсь больше с вами в какие-то малейшие конфронтации вступать. Ну, их это, конечно, не интересует, они избивают парня, просто люто его месят, он лежит в черном, он, походу, его с Серебрянки завезли, я не знаю. Но меня несколько раз меня влупили и положили в конце автозака. И, ну, пацана бьют, лупасят просто бесщадно. Он говорит, мужики, я уже кричать не могу. Они говорят, ну так не кричи. Вот, ну и продолжают его бить. Ну и потом пацану совсем хреново стало, его из автозака вытянули. Ну я понимаю, что меня сейчас то же самое ждет. Ну и начинают меня точно так же лупасить. А меня уже в предыдущем автозаке, в принципе, неплохо отлупасили. То есть у меня уже все было покоцано максимально. И они меня по тем же местам бьют. Я ору, ну уже визжу, потому что боль просто невыносимая. Но их это, конечно же, не интересует. Они меня продолжают бить. Я понял, что я больше не могу кричать. Я просто замолчал. Ну и они бьют. И в какой-то момент останавливаются и говорят, так, мужики, он походу от болевого шока что-то там откинулся. Но я уже не мог говорить, и до этого мне там тут боевик еще до входа в автозак по уху прописал так, что я как-то вот так вот мямлю, что-то так. Вот, но я просто понял, что я больше не могу реагировать ни на что. Ну, они меня, значит, облили водой и выкинули на землю, на бетон. Примерно через 25 минут приезжает скорая. И доктор говорит, ну я не знаю, понял он, думаю, он понял, что я в сознании, но, соответственно, заявлять он этим не стал. Ну и, соответственно, меня сразу капельницу вкололи, ну и меня, и все, и увезли. И после этого я уже отрубился и очутился в больнице. Какая-то такая история.
Как вас зовут? Как вы сюда попали? Сколько вам лет?
Я Зайцева Мария Александровна, мне 19, родом из города Гомеля. Сейчас нахожусь в Минске. После протеста 9 числа меня ранило предположительно осколками светошумовой гранаты и еще пара пуль мне резиновых нашли. Мне досталось серьезное руку после осколков.
И от пуль вы сказали, да, резиновые тоже пули вас попали?
Что у них пули нашли. Сама, правда, я не помню, как по нам стреляли, так что не уверена. Меня оглушило после взрыва, а дальше уже мои знакомые и просто люди вокруг пытались меня тащить куда-то, и здесь еще попали фотографии, как я сижу в таком полумертвом состоянии. Меня оглушило, я ничего не слышу, не вижу. То есть мы пытались еще общаться. Но потом, видимо, меня уже на скорую доставили и дальше увезли в больницу.
Скажите, у вас на щеке, я вижу какие-то следы, то есть это...
Да, меня ранило в голову. Ну, еще порвала барабанную перепонку на этом ухе.
И вы этим ухом сейчас не слышите, насколько я знаю, да?
Этим ухом я не слышу, но она может остановиться. В принципе, с ним все не так плохо. Барабанная перепонка может зарасти. Вот. Пока что заживают раны от осколков и пули, а там уже и с ухом разберутся. Да, меня ослепило, и я еще ношу контактные линзы, у меня довольно плохое зрение. Одна из линз, она выпала после удара по глазу. Видимо, какие-то осколки прилетели. Но меня линза и спасла, благодаря этому я еще осталась со зрением. Правда, сейчас ничего не вижу из-за того, что я не могу их надеть. Но зрение есть нормально. Со мной еще были мои знакомые, стояли в церкви, и, возможно, мне еще странно помогали, я не помню точно, я была без зрения и слуха. Сидела как-то, помню, на траве, и дальше уже почти ничего. Помню сам момент взрыва, как я упала на асфальт, и дальше кто меня вытаскивал, понятия не имею.
After this guy, we're gonna cut it off.
Вышел с подъезда. Зашел на угол дома, к магазину.
Oh no, wait, no, not this guy.
Уже стояли.
The guy after.
Ну, сосчитали. Смотрю, бегут ко мне. А я один был. Говорю, не, говорю, я, все нормально, все равно положили, начали сбивать. Потом закинули в машину, в машине сбивали. И когда же уроды приехали, там еще полгода сдали. Так, в принципе, все.
Вы говорите, а вы куда шли? Еще раз можете повторить? Из подъезда вы вышли, куда вы шли?
В магазин за сигаретами. Залили газом сразу. Потом избили. В машине добавили. В принципе, и все.
Вас избивали прямо на улице?
Да.
Долго?
Минуты 3.
Почем били?
Правой печень.
Вы сейчас можете рассказать, читателям, с какой травмой вы сейчас находитесь в больнице?
Частично разрыв печени.
Вам сделали операцию?
Да.
Вы как сюда попали? Вам вызвали сразу же скорую или вас забирали и потом уже с Окрестина?
С дома вызвал скорую.
Из дома?
Да.
То есть вы после избиения вы вернулись домой и уже вызвали скорую, получается, да?
Да.
No, we're gonna let. You know what? People are gonna have a look at that later. You get the gist. That was the aftermath of what the cops were doing to us, the people.
It's absolutely mad.
And yeah, and it was even madder because like I can't confirm any of those, but later people that were at the Okrestina, they were coming out like saying things that they were like raped women specifically, that their bladders were busted, specifically the bladder part. Now I don't have a video about that yet, but it's pretty much finished. I just need to render it and like add a few things here and there. This is still going on, the protests. The biggest one was March for Freedom on August 16th. That was not like a couple of days ago. That's where I couldn't sit idle anymore. I realized that if I don't get out there and protest, nothing ever is going to change. And fuck it. If they take me, fuck it. I even recorded a video like saying that I don't have any makeshift explosive devices, that I'm not doing anything, that I'm just going to get water to people protesting and whatever. Tatty, can you put number 20 on screen? I will be releasing a video that's like showcasing the whole protest on August 16th. And it's going to be on that channel, the one that holds the video from number 19. And that's the second channel that I use to offload. So when I was at the protest on August 16th, I met this man. His sign reads, Luka fascism, meaning Lukashenko's fascism, must be destroyed. I have video of him just standing there and saying things. He was saying, this thing on my t-shirt, that's not paint. I was standing there and filming him, and for a solid minute, I could not understand what this old man was saying. Then I looked at his head, because I was looking at the shirt all this time, and realized that they got him. They got him, and he's here right now. This 60-something-year-old dude is here. He's protesting, even though he needs to be like laying down probably because he has a concussion or a broken skull or something. I don't know. So I came up to him and I asked, can you tell me what happened to you? He said the following. He said that that three guys in plain clothes drove up in a blue van. The cops, undercover cops, they grabbed him. They took him to the station. There they took his head and slammed it against the side of the door, essentially busting his head. And he started bleeding. After that, that's his words, not mine. They added a couple of hits from the back, and then they tossed me out on the street.
Jesus Christ.
That's his story. Then he told me that he has that's kind of a hearsay thing, but I'm just going to relay what he said, and you decide if it's true or not. I would say yes. So he said that his sister works in the second in hospital number 2 in Minsk. She said that to him that the hospital is booked with young people with busted bladders, because when Lukashenko, when his dogs started doing like this brutalities to people, he realized that it's not a really good look on the like world arena. So he kind of dialed it in and like ordered to release people. But you think the cops just, let them go without any kind of like, no, they didn't let them piss for a day. And when time came to release them, they used rubber batons to bust their bladders. So all of those people went to the hospital, and he says that she said to him that Belarusian doctors have no technological experience or equipment to actually fix a bursted bladder. And that's about it, I guess. There's a couple of pictures at the bottom. We can go through them. The government responded in kind of a, also, again, hearsay, because people say that channel, that Telegram channel that put this out, is associated with the government. But they're in this government, in this universe, there's no, you never know. But I would say it's a good guess that the government made this. The government started organizing counter rallies. They started driving people with buses. There's video of that. They put people in buses. They had a special person that was teaching them chants. They had balloons. They had official like flags, merch, everything. Nobody drove me to the protest in a bus. Nobody like Lukashenko assumes, because he screams at the top of his lungs that people that are protesting are being paid off by Europe or whoever the hell. I don't even know. Nobody gave me balloons. Nobody gave me a sign. No, nothing. None of that. Yet these assholes, they're fine. And the government finally realized, because something really important. Before they ignored Telegram channels, but now they realized that it's a game of evolution. If you don't evolve and adapt, you're gonna die. So they started doing this whole social media thing. That considering that the president completely doesn't understand how to use the internet. He gets information in a folder by other people that write it down for him, like a complete old fart that he is. So suddenly, out of nowhere, this channel that is associated with the government, they suddenly have these sticker sets that show that say the most disgusting things that you could ever imagine. Tatty, can you put like the first one at least, and then we can.
I don't want to interrupt, but we will have to end soon because I know Tatty's got work in the morning, and
then
for us UK as it's 12:15. But Dick has offered, if you want to talk some more about it on the next set of pub chat, which I believe, if Krafty doesn't get me wrong, 2 hours from now.
45.
4 a.m.
Yeah,
sure.
45.
Pardon?
1 hour 45 minutes.
1 hour 45 minutes from now. If you want to do some more on there, Crackerjack, Dick has offered that. But I mean, I don't particularly want to end, but I understand that because I've got work at 6 a.m. in the morning as well, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
it's been so interesting. I can't even believe it's been 2 hours. I am shocked.
To be honest with you, Clapperjack, I think I don't know if you're able to stay up for that long, because I know it's getting late for you as well. But there should be a discussion about this. We have heard from yourself, and that's been so valuable. There may be other people, there may be other people that want to contribute to and ask you questions. So, would you be interested in sticking around for the next
I would like to.
Because we don't want to rush this, and we don't want to get this wrong, and we want to do everything that we can to support you and the people of your country.
But that's the story, I guess. That's it. That's what happened so far. The major events, the big story, the big picture. I could go into more details, but I think this was pretty concise and informative.
Definitely
really
come
good.
back in on it. Definitely come back in on it.
I think if you give folks a wee hour or so to have a wee think about what they've just seen, digest it, and come back for the North American chat. Folks in the chat, and I know yous are going to have questions and opinions, man. And we need, as Keelah says, we need to talk this out. We can't rush this. I apologise for the fact that we are going to have to pull the plug on this, but hey, shit happens. I need to eat. And
Go digest and come back with your questions, come back with your opinions. We want to hear from you because we are a community and we do support each other.
Yeah.
But most importantly, don't feel sad, because things happen in this world. And on August 16th, I realized something really important. That's the thing that I said that I'm going to mention at the end. There's this man on the internet. He's mysterious. He calls himself Mr. Freeman. He's Russian, and he's animated. He's not a real person. His first ever episode, he said something super interesting that stuck with me for years, but I never could understand what he meant. On August 16th, I actually understood that. He said, "So it turns out that I'm the real one, and you don't actually exist. You are a product of someone's imagination. You just haven't been drawn yet, and you have to try really hard to prove me otherwise, that you can actually call yourself alive." On August 16th, I realized what that meant. 10 years. That was 10 years ago. He said that.
And as you said, like, one thing that people should take away from this, the most important thing I think people should take away from this is, you mentioned there 2015, and we will talk about 2015 and what was going on, because there is context to this, and people just accepting it in 2015, 2016. That fear that people felt is gone. The fear and the complacency that this is just going to happen is gone. It's turned to anger, and that anger has turned into positivity for change. And that is incredible. It's inspiring. So yeah, don't go away from the stream feeling sad. Go away feeling empowered that there are people that have been attacked so heavily for 26 years and they're still fighting for civil rights.
My closing remarks: when you go away from the stream, make sure you share it. So take the link, stick it in your social media, tweet it, whatever you do. But share this, because it's not being covered enough by any news agency, and it needs to be.
I've been sharing it for the last 2 days, so
nice.
Get it done.
Get it out there, folks. You know what to do. Use it all internet savvy enough. You know the score. Get it out there. Get the message out there. Get the story told. Yeah, and most pertinently, very good point. Most pertinently, you have access to the internet.
Yeah.
On a personal note, I'll say, Jack, stay safe.
I'm doing my best. I'm fine. I'm unharmed. But I can't say much for my personality, because I feel that happy-go-lucky Jack from before, that was jumping on videos and making fun of flat earthers, I don't think that man is alive anymore.
I hope he is, because as soon as they take away your heart, that's it. Don't lose hope. We're here. We support you and we support your country, and you will get that back. As soon as the weight is lifted, you will get that back.
One can hope.
Blue, did you want to say something?
Well, just that, suddenly flat Earth doesn't seem very important anymore.
I felt the same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
It certainly brings a perspective.
It really does. All those little things that we argue about and take the piss out of just seem like, well, why? This is so much more important.
You guys know what to do. Spread the word.
Spread the word. Get it shared. Tweet. If anyone has any contacts, any news, bug them. Say, why aren't you covering this more? Why is nothing being done? Why are we seeing so little of this? Join us in a couple of hours. Process what's been taken on. Join us a couple of hours where more of this will be talked about. If you've got a big channel, you want to mirror any of the information here, let us know. I can't see that being a problem really, because it's all Jack's creation really. So yeah, this needs sharing, this needs talking about. I think that's about it.
Man.
Yeah,
absolutely. But other than that, troops, yeah, one hour 40 minutes for part 2, and hopefully some of your observations. But other than that, has anyone got any objections if we bring this one to a close?
No objections here.
Nope.
Tell it's a hard stream. I didn't even do any jokes.
Yeah, this was a tough one. It was a tough ask, folks. Tough ask, a tough watch. You know what to do. Catch you later, troops.